Hey everyone, this is Coriel Kramer, professional animal communicator, professional intuitive, professional healer. You know the whole thing if you've been listening to the animal experience for a while now, so you know my whole title. Okay, but I'm here with the animal experience now, the show that brings you the animals' insights, thoughts, wisdoms to all of you. And this month's episode, very interestingly enough, the subject of it came up quite a bit in the last few weeks. Actually, I would say the last week, since the new year. And the interesting thing is that when something comes up a lot for me, I take that as a sign from the universe that I need to talk about it, whether that's writing a post on my site, or whether that's Facebook, or whether that's whatever, talking to people about it. I just take it as a sign when it comes up a lot. And this subject has come up a great deal. It started with somebody from my family sending me a photograph. Now, I don't normally look at old photographs only because for me, I'm a very visual person. It's one of the reasons, let me fix this light for a second. Sorry. It's one of the reasons why I don't want somebody to send me a picture of an animal who's been abused. It brings me to that animal in that time and I get stuck there. And the same thing kind of happens in old photographs. I remember who I was then. I remember what I was going through then. And I don't look at a photograph in an old timey of me and not go back to that time. So it can kind of like divert me, is what I'm trying to say. So I kind of avoid them, but I couldn't avoid this one because it was like, uh, my family member sent it through Messenger and she sent it through email, so it was like boom boom, and I just opened it up without even thinking. Not that it was bad; it's not a bad photograph, but it just brought me to a time. So I'll share the photograph with you, 86ing the other people in it except for my mom. So I have no idea when this was taken, as we talked about when I talked about age. I don't go into age. I don't know what it is, my age. I don't care to know my age. I don't count my age. I don't count my birthdays. But this photograph was probably taken, I would say, probably 90s, late to mid 90s. So it's a photograph of me and my mom. And there are other people in it, but I'm not going to show you them because I want to keep this on the QT for them. They don't need to be involved in it. But the first thing I thought when I saw this photograph was, look at how stunning I am. So that's good. I also said, look how stunning I was, um, but the second thing that happened immediately after seeing this photograph was I remember what I was going through here. And I look like I'm very together. I look like I'm very chic, and I am. Okay. I am. But this person that you see here was absolutely miserable. This person was addicted to everything. She was an alcoholic. She was addicted to alcohol. She was addicted to drugs. She was addicted to anorexia. She was addicted to bulimia. She was addicted to self hate and self loathing. She was addicted to manipulation. She was addicted to lying. She was addicted. And I hated myself on a moment to moment basis. And my mother, who was extremely supportive of me and loved me very much, would tell me constantly how beautiful she thought I was. And I would always think she was lying because she was my mother. So as I was addicted to self-criticism, I was addicted to a mindset that put me into a spiral of constant hate and abuse. So self-abuse, you know. So this person, although she looks together, was in a state of constant mental anguish, despair, suicidal thoughts. Um, if I knew about self mutilation, I probably would have done it, but I didn't know. So looks can be deceiving. So addictions, that's the subject because it came up a lot. And then I felt myself, when I looked at that picture, I felt myself spiraling also. And I started criticizing, seeing myself in the mirror and criticizing myself now. And I worked with a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine by the name of Ann Moore, and she does work with a lot of people, and she's doing this amazing work. And if you have, um, if you have any kind of want to release something, um, I would talk to Ann and see about that. She's my friend on Facebook, so you can definitely see her. Ann Moore, More, Moore. But she helped me pop out. She helped me pop back out. And I wasn't spiraling all the way down. I wasn't anywhere near I was here. But I felt myself, criticizing myself and going into that. So uh I then did a session a couple of days ago with a animal, and they tended to have addictive personality. And I thought, this is coming up a lot. Let me do the next episode on the animal experience on animals and addictions. So, what kind of addiction? What's an addiction? Addiction, of course, as we know, is when you are so focused, like laser focused and hyper aware of something that this becomes something that you need in your life that you can't do without, to the extent that everything else doesn't matter. So, people can be addicted to alcohol, drugs. They can be addicted to mindsets. They can be addicted to shoes. They can be addicted to clothes. They can be addicted to sex. They can be addicted to anything. Anything can really be an addiction. So, as I said before, I mean, I was addicted to so many things. And in fact, I was like, mindsets of constant loathing was my addiction. It fueled my need to self-sabotage. And so can animals have them? Well, let me explain to you my own experience. So, um, probably about 6 months ago now, my cat Sammy was extremely overweight. Now, when I tell you extremely, I'm not saying, he was a chunky boy and he was big boned. No, I'm saying he was overweight. Okay. He was 16 pounds, probably going close to 17 pounds, and I was not feeding him a lot. But he would eat dry food like it was going out of style. He wouldn't eat it, he would inhale it like it was like he was a pile driver, like he was just like this earth machine where you would just see them just clamp and just eat and just clamp and just eat. So, at first, we would just fill the bowls and leave them at it. But then I got into the habit of feeding him probably 3 times a day and feeding him less than a fourth of a cup of dry food. I would just throw it in and he would inhale it. And then he would go searching around. I mean, I would call it his like rug sniffing stage. Like, I don't, this is from my past as being addicted to cocaine, but we used to have the people that we would call the rug sniffers who would, like, if we were in the clubs, and it was really late at night and the club was empty, these people would go around searching to see if anybody dropped any of their drugs, and he would search, he would take like an hour searching every corner of the kitchen, just to see if there was dry food around. He was addicted. He was addicted. And it was ruining his life, because what started happening was every single day. I'm not saying every once a week. I'm saying every single day, Sammy would vomit. I would find vomit somewhere. Okay. With or without the dry food in it. And I started to get to worry a little bit because um, excessive vomiting can be a sign of onset diabetes. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I talked to a friend of mine, another friend of mine, who is also an animal communicator, and she's back east. And she said that she did the same thing was going on with her cat. So what she did was she got him on an all wet food diet. And I said, okay, let's do it. Now, when I tell you that transitioning Sammy from a dry food and wet food to a pure wet food diet was not straining, I would be lying. If I told you it was easy, I would be absolutely lying, because it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen, I talk to people about this, but it's the perfect scene. There's a movie called Train Spotting, and at one point they're getting off of heroin. And at one point, the hero, I guess the main character, starts to see a dead baby crawling all over on the walls, on the ceiling, and it's disturbing. But that's the way that it was with him, with Sammy. It was so hard, but I stuck to it. And I said, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Um, the animal that I was talking to a few days ago had a very addictive personality, also towards dry food and treats and stuff like that, there to the point where, he would just eat and eat and eat and eat. Now, is Sammy still addicted to dry food? Yes. If I put that down, he would go right back to it. I know he would, because he hasn't quite released it yet, if that makes sense. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I see his tendency with treats. As soon as I open up that treat bag, he's right there. And he's pushing everybody out of the way in order to get to those treats, like he's thinking like he's not going to have enough food, or he's not going to have enough treats. So it's very interesting. So can animals be addicted? Yes, to a certain extent, they can be. They can be addicted to us. They can be addicted to food. They can be addicted to a mindset of being in trauma. They can be addicted to actions like pacing or licking or excessive licking. They can be addicted. That is an addiction. When you do that, and it pulls out everything else other than that one thing that you're doing, getting or eating or ingesting or sniffing or whatever, that's an addiction. So yes, they can be. Okay, they also tend to release it faster though. But here's the thing, before I start getting into that, can they go through, when we go through an addiction, like I was talking to you about the photograph of me when I was whatever age I was at, and I showed you the photograph. Can they, uh, hey Jackie, how you doing? Hi monkey. So can they go through the mental struggles? Like I was talking to you about what I was going through. I was going through constant self-judgment, self-criticism, self-loathing. I was talking to my friend Ann about this. I would, every single reflective surface. I lived in New York City. Now, imagine New York City, okay? It's the city of skyscrapers, everything's shiny, everything's reflective. What I would do is almost every single reflective surface I caught my gaze in as I was walking the streets of New York City, I would criticize myself. I would find something wrong with myself. Sometimes I would go from the top of my head all the way to my shoes. That takes a lot of time. I would walk New York City like that, but I got so good at it, I could criticize myself like this in 2 seconds. Okay? Big nose, puffy hair, big eyes too spread out, mouth too not right, ears too big or too small, neck is too long, too short, whatever. At this point in my life, I was also living with, being 98 pounds and still thinking I was fat. That mental weight of that. So, can animals go through that? When you're going through an addiction, you're usually so focused and so hyper aware of that thing. And when you don't have it, you will do anything, step over anybody, um, manipulate, in any way you can to get the money or to get that resource that you need. Whether that's a shoe or whether that's a handbag or whether that's a nice, beautiful Mont Blanc pen or whether that's a beautiful wristwatch or whatever, and you have 15,000 of them already. Hoarding is like the extreme of addiction. I mean, addiction is all extreme, but hoarding is a very good thing where you just, I have to have everything. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. So do the animals get to that same thing too and also does it affect them in their way that they feel about themselves, the self-loathing and the self-hate and the disgust at not being able to get yourself like straightened out and telling yourself you're always constantly a piece of crap and all this kind of stuff. To a certain extent, yes. Okay, but not to the extreme that we humans go through. We humans are really good at it. Okay, really good at it. All right. I wish I could say we're really lousy at it, but we're really good at it. So getting down to see Sammy when he was eating that food, and I'm pointing to him now, so that's why I'm looking over there. But Sammy, when he was eating that food, it was more of a sense of it not being enough than it was a sense of I'm going to eat this cake because I'm a piece of crap and I'm fat anyway, so I might as well just go for it. Or I'm disgusting and I hate myself, so I'm going to eat this pie or something else like, or I'm going to, I'm not enough and, my childhood was crap and my father beat me and I'm ugly and I hate myself, so I'm going to, smoke this joint or sniff this crack or smoke this crack or sniff this coke or whatever. We add an we go to the next level. Okay, humans usually go to the next level, and the next level is usually where this real self-hate is. Animals usually come from a place of it not being enough to a certain extent. Unless they've been severely abused, then they can start getting into the thing of, well, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not enough, maybe I'm not right, um, maybe I'm not perfect, maybe, but humans, we load in the guilt and we load in the self-loathing and we load in the childhood and we load in the school time when we were all freaks and made fun of and not enough. So yeah, they can. That's the difference. The next thing is that because of all that, um, the 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 fact is that they usually have a tendency to release it faster. Now, Sammy is still kind of stuck in that thing, but he's nowhere near what he used to be. It's like it's just got a little bit left, okay? But I do feel like if I started giving him wet food, he'd go back into it. So he's on a wet food diet for the rest of his life. But they seem to release it faster. So watch the episodes of last season on the stream of well-being and animals letting go abuse and trauma and drama and all that kind of stuff, because that ties in really well with that. They want to feel good. They want to step back into their natural feeling of well-being, so they're going to let go of their crap. Okay? And they let go of their crap faster. We humans have a tendency to say, we need this. I don't know if I can do this without it. I don't know if I can. We have a lot more self-doubt. I don't know if I can live life without it. I don't know if I can be myself without it. If I give this up, who am I going to be? Animals don't care about that. They're like, no, let's dive into the stream of well-being because I know I'm going to be what I'm supposed to be. Um, so we complicate things basically. The human mind can complicate letting go of those things because we're also with, we're excusing it. Well, it really wasn't that bad, or I need it because my childhood sucked. Well, step in line. Everybody's childhood was interesting, okay? So, my parents weren't enough. My parents didn't do this. My parents did this and didn't do this. My friends, my people, I went to school and I was bullied all day long. I get it. I understand. We've all been through it though. You're not alone. But we use excuses. When you use that excuse, you're taking that, disempowering yourself, and you're taking that power away. You're taking that power and giving it to somebody else and something else. So we had the denials. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I trashed the car and the house, but it all worked out okay. I really didn't hurt my friends that much. Over pretenses, and the over pretenses are things like, oh, it was like really cool and it was a great time, and I went to all these clubs and it was awesome and I was wearing fancy clothes. Yeah, but you also a hot mess. You are a hot mess. Look at me. Look at me. I'm all together. I'm set. I'm all together. I was a hot mess. A hot mess. And I admit it. But I love this person now because if it wasn't for this person, I would understand that I would not be this person. Without her, I wouldn't have been her. I am not her. Without her, I'm not her. But that doesn't mean that I can't let her go. So that's the episode 9. That's on addictions. Animals, yes. Can they have them? Yes. Do they let them go easier than we do? Most of the time, yes. Can they be examples and teachers and mentors for us on the way to let go of our crap? Absolutely. 100% absolutely. They can be teachers. They can show us how to do it. They can show us how to be enough. Now, are all addictions bad? No, not really. Think of hugs. I'm addicted to hugs. I'm addicted to hugs. I love giving people hugs. Animals hugs. I give people hugs, animal hugs. I'm addicted to hugs. Am I addicted to feeling good? Absolutely. I am addicted to feeling good. I will do anything I can to feel good. That is my most important thing. Am I addicted to giving people kisses? Yes, I like to give people kisses. There's good addiction, there's bad addiction. Okay? But, it's the trick to life is making the addictions in your life the more positive ones. And the animals really know how to do that. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed episode 9. Hello to everybody, and thank you everybody for watching, supporting the animal experience, watching the videos, watching the podcasts, listening to the podcast, watching the YouTube videos. I appreciate you. I love you. It's been an awesome experience. Now, what I'm going to say is this. I am not, at this point of time, I am not giving up the animal experience. However, I just got something gifted to me that has been an incredible gift, and I'll talk more about it later on, maybe. Thank you, Jackie. I'll talk more about it later, maybe. But here's the thing. It's going to take up a lot of my time, and it's a scholarship program that I believe is going to take me to the next level in what my life purpose is for both animals and people. And I'm excited beyond excited about what this is going to bring into my life, but it is going to take up a lot of time. And I might have to put the animal experience aside, okay? Because if I need to do calls and I need to do workshops, and they're usually on the weekends or during the week in the evening or something else like that, it just might be a lot. So I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know. But as right now, we got the animal experience going monthly. We're okay. I'll keep you all posted, I promise. And what else did I want to say? Anything else? No, I think that's it. I think we're good. I want to thank you all for the love and support you give to me, both on Facebook and through emails and through the website, for the journey that I'm doing in my life. Not just this new scholarship program, but everything. You know, you guys support me and love me as who I am and what I do, and I appreciate that. And I hope it continues on. And I hope give you and your animals blessings for 2020. I hope 2020 is amazing, wonderful, fantastic experiences for you and your animals. I hope it brings you joy, prosperity, happiness. I hope it brings you health. I hope it brings you everything good for 2020. That is my goal. That is my prayer. That is my wish for you guys. And until next month, I wish you and your animals a wealth of wonderful, unbelievable, exciting experiences.